What if I told you that the most terrifying villain in The Lord of the Rings, the Witch King of Angmar, was only possible because of a single cursed word spoken by an elf in the First Age? This isn't just backstory. This is the hidden curse that shaped the entire War of the Ring. That chilling figure who broke Gandalf's staff and whose very name made armies tremble his power, his very nature as a being who would not fall by the hand of man, was sealed millennia before he ever put on the Ring of Power. This is the story of the doom of the Noldor and how its shadow fell directly onto the Pelennor fields. To understand this, we have to go back to the rebellion of the Noldor elves in Valinor. Led by the proud Prince Fëanor, they swore a terrible oath to pursue Morgoth, the first Dark Lord, to Middle-earth and reclaim the stolen Silmarils at any cost. But to leave the Blessed Realm, they had to commit a horrific act, the kinslaying at Alqualonda, murdering their own kindred, the Teleri elves, to steal their ships. For this sin, the Valar laid a curse upon them, the doom of Mandos. And within that doom was a specific prophecy that would echo for ages. It declared that treachery and disaster would haunt the Noldor, and that a dark shadow would lie upon their hearts. But here's the conflict. The Witch King isn't an elf. He's a man, one of the 9 kings of men corrupted by Sauron's rings in the Second Age. So how does an elvish curse from the First Age bind a human wraith thousands of years later? The connection is not in his birth, but in the magical and spiritual laws of Middle-earth that were irrevocably shaped by that curse. The doom of Mandos didn't just punish the Noldor, it fundamentally altered the fabric of fate in Middle-earth, setting precedents for how evil could exploit oaths and prophecy. Morgoth and later Sauron became masters at twisting words of power and prophetic doom to their own ends. Let's deep dive into the prophecy itself. The doom stated, "To evil end shall all things turn, that they begin well." It created a world where the actions of the proud and the oath-bound were destined to be corrupted. This established a principle in the law, that a powerful, spoken curse or prophecy has tangible, lasting power. Now, fast forward to the Third Age. The Witch King, as the Lord of the Nazgul, is the embodiment of a broken oath. He swore to serve Sauron for power and eternal life, and his oath corrupted him utterly. He exists in a state of permanent, cursed betrayal. And Sauron, Morgoth's greatest servant, would have understood the mechanics of the First Age's curses better than anyone. He didn't create the prophecy that no living man may hinder me, but he weaponized the ancient magical principle behind it. Here's the twist, the comeback moment. The Witch King's famous vulnerability wasn't a random weakness. It was the direct, poetic inversion of the First Age's greatest tragedy. Think about it. The doom of the Noldor was triggered by an elf killing elves. Kinslaying. The entire age was defined by this betrayal of kindred. So, to resolve a curse born of kin-killing, the universe demanded its opposite. Not a man, but a woman. Not a warrior in glory, but one defending a fallen father figure. Not a stranger, but in a sense, kin in arms with the hobbit Merry. Merry's blade, forged in the wars against the Witch King's own kingdom of Angmar, broke the spells of protection woven by Sauron's lesser magic. This meant that the Witch King wasn't defeated by a loophole. He was defeated by the narrative and magical justice of the world Tolkien built, a justice established in the Silmarillion. His fall was a cosmic correction. The curse of no living man was a cheap imitation of true prophetic power. a knockoff spell by Sauron. The real, underlying fate of Middle-earth, shaped by the tragedies of the First Age, demanded a more profound resolution. Mercy, love of kin, and the courage of the seemingly insignificant overthrowing the proud and oath-bound. Suddenly, Eowyn and Merry aren't just lucky. They are the instruments of a deeper historical justice. This brings us to the climax. The moment on the Pelennor Fields is the Silmarillion's final judgment on the legacy of Morgoth. Every major evil in The Lord of the Rings is a descendant of Morgoth's original rebellion. The Balrogs, the dragons, the corruption of men, all of it. The Witch King is the ultimate symbol of that corrupted lineage, a man who chose a Morgoth-style path of domination and power through a ring. His invincibility was a myth built on a perversion of ancient laws. And so, his defeat had to mirror the overthrow of that original evil, not with greater power, but with pity, sacrifice, and the actions of those who fight for home and love, not for glory or cursed jewels. The First Age was a tragedy of pride and possession. The Third Age's victory in this pivotal moment was one of humility and selflessness. So the payoff is this. The Lord of the Rings isn't just a sequel to The Hobbit. It is the final chapter of the Silmarillion. The Witch King's end is the universe balancing the scales for the kinslaying at Alqualondë. When Galadriel tells Frodo she passes the test and will diminish and go into the West, she is finally escaping the doom that has hung over her people since the First Age. And when the ring is destroyed, it's not just Sauron's power that ends. It is the last, lingering echo of Morgoth's will being scrubbed from the world. The courage of a woman and a hobbit on a battlefield was the final, poetic sentence in a story that began with the Oath of Fëanor. The Silmarillion doesn't just connect to Lord of the Rings. It is the reason its victories are even possible. The past was not forgotten. It was redeemed.